Bom dia. You'll never guess where we are. It's been exactly 1 year and 3 months since I've last been in Portugal. I've legitimately thought of Portugal, I would say, on a daily or weekly basis since I was last here, especially with the food. So, the three of us, we're back, and this time we're doing Porto together. And I want to show you our crib because we lucked out. We've lucked out last time too, but this time we have upgraded our living situation. A little mini room tour. We're in this studio, but it's gorgeous. If this was my apartment in Amsterdam, oh my god, everyone would come to my room. Look at this washer dryer. The sofa bed though is kind of dangerous because if you step on that, can you demonstrate? Yeah, that's the dangerous part, but other than that, it's beautiful. And the most beautiful part, of course, is the terrace. We have an orange tree, and this is our neighborhood. Not bad, not bad. And there's a little kitty down there right now. Can you see? We actually just checked in, and we came here around 12, but we basically spent the entire first part of the day at the city beach since it was so much closer to the airport. Tram is happy because she has a liter of orange juice. Only $1.79 for the whole thing. We are having our Lidl lunch because look what they have in Lidl here. You ate the last bacalhau? Cozinha. Look at all the kids just having fun playing volleyball. And now we're gonna walk in the center and eat at a proper Tasca tonight, and we're so excited for it because we love a restaurant where they can't understand English and the menu is handwritten. And oh yeah, bonus points if they have a picture of themselves in the newspaper up on the wall. That's my place. That is my type of restaurant, and we're very excited to go. So enough talking here, let's actually show you the city. Right, we're ready to go. Look at all those people over there waiting for sunset over the river, where they could be doing it like this lady over here. Now she's winning. She has the whole area to herself. And then below, for the wine touring rich crowd, there's a private pool. My camera. Bro, you're not okay. I'm gonna put the kilos away. And it's a full moon.
la felicidad. Como una luz fugaz. Un instante que se va. Que se va.
It's so beautiful in here. We got pretty lucky. There's not a lot of people in the Sao Bento window. But we're actually going on a day trip to a beach town and we need to take a proper train, so that's why we're here as well.
La vida es lo que será.
Hello. You might have thought, oh, Nina forgot to put some voiceovers in this video explaining her thinking behind her photography, but no, I am just starting to put it in now because I think this is the beginning of the photos that need some explanation. So this first photo here is me. It's kind of a touristy photo. This is just a photo to show your kids of like, oh look, it's me, I went traveling in my 20s. But like, I really like how I'm actually not in focus, but you sort of see me, I'm like cheesily holding my backpack. But the tile work in the background is still the star of the show in this photo, even though it's a touristy photo. It's not necessarily like artistic in any sense. However, this next photo I think is extremely beautiful because the overexposed light coming through the window, it sort of looks like this heavenly light that's emitting through the train station. I really love the tile work of Portuguese tile, which is a huge reason why I wanted to come to Porto in the first place, because as well as the style of painting on the tiles is actually one of my favorite, because I really appreciate semi-realistic paintings the most, I think, because I feel like that's how most people see the world. Like most people, including me, don't see the world perfectly. Mostly no one has perfect vision, and I also think it represents that everyone sees things through their own frame, which is why it's only semi-realistic. Now continuing through the Sao Bento station, this here is another photo just showing how big the room is. It's honestly not that big, but beautiful nonetheless. Now we're starting to move in a little bit more into the actual train area because we were looking for the bathroom, which is why we went in this area. Although we were going to Miramar, there wasn't a direct train from Sao Bento. You needed to take the subway for one more stop, but we still wanted to check it out. I think for me, train stations or just areas where people are constantly moving in and out make for really good backgrounds for photo and whatever artwork you like to make, because it's just all these people who are going there who would normally never interact with each other. I just love the layering in this one. You can see the name that it's Porto Sao Bento, and then in the back there's a really brightly graffitied train, as well as in the front, if you didn't catch it, it says Braga on it, which is another town in the north of Portugal. I snapped this photo, which I really love and I think is so Portuguese, especially with like the Super Bock advertisement. I on purpose wanted to keep that in the photo, even though I normally hate to keep things that age my photos. I really love how this couple is here and how their heads are touching against each other and they're resting on each other's shoulders, as well as the color scheme of just how cool the color blocking is on the door of the train. And then in the background, it's the houses, which are the same exact color but in a slightly brighter tone. And I snapped this on the way when we were searching for the bathroom. Hot tip, if you need to pee for free, don't pee in like the entrance of the Sao Bento station, just go into the timeout market a little bit further back. Now continuing on what I said earlier of how I love photographing train stations because they are places of motion, I also love how here all of the train stations look different, and yes, I know that's how it is in most places, but I feel like it's honestly becoming a lost art and everything. All these new buildings especially are just looking all the same, like they could be in either Dubai or in New York, and it's just this same like Japan-y, super minimalist style, when I really appreciate how each station is uniquely its own. And I really love the tile work of this. This is a photo example of how I did not have a subject in it yet, but I was waiting for someone to come by. Just look how crazy beautiful the tile is here, and as well as the mismatching squares in black on the right hand side, but this photo was obviously missing a subject. And I was very lucky because this old guy walked into my shot, and I sort of had to be nonchalant and pretend like I wasn't taking the photo, which I know is technically like, oh, you're not respecting his privacy, but you can't really see his face. He's more of just a subject in the photo. I just really like it because there's also a story of he was waiting for someone. I think he was waiting for his wife and he was picking her up from the station, which is very sweet. I did talk to him. Have arrived at Miramar, or how you say with a Portuguese accent, Miramar. So gorgeous here. Smells so fresh. I wish I could bottle this and take it back with me. Looks like a hermit crab. I'm trying to not become the color of the sand that I'm sitting on. Now, when we were at Miramar, I took a lot of photos from different angles of this. I wouldn't exactly call it a house, it was more of like a shrine, I would say, because you could pray to Santa Maria on the inside. Those were very romantic and beautiful, but one of the photos I wanted to discuss was this photo that I took of the rocks here. And although this could be anywhere in the world, that's also what I like about it, and what I think is a big theme of my photography is that it could be anywhere and nowhere at the same time. And I really like this photo because of the concentration of these super jagged rocks in the center, and as you move further away, the people and the items become more dispersed in the photo, as well as the shore cuts across diagonally and more movement like that, I guess, as well as I really like this little girl on the bottom left hand side who's sticking her feet in the water. Oh my god, this beach day at Miramar was literally like a dream. Zero tourists. We were like the only people who didn't speak Portuguese there. And I looked it up afterwards, and this beach is still like very low on the radar. I just looked it up on Google Maps and it seemed like a nice day trip away from the city because we really wanted to touch the sea. At this point, we were so sun and beach starved. I didn't record that much on the beach because I was trying just to live in the moment, but I captured these two photos on the walk back to the train station, and while we were walking, the sky was such a gorgeous pastel blue. I saw this tiled house when we were walking, and combined with the light reflecting off this traditional Portuguese house with the tiles, it made it look like this house was literally made out of gold, or that it was emanating this golden light. And combined with the two diagonal trees and their shadows, I knew that this was going to be one of these photos where it was going to be good before I even got it developed. This photo here, where this is the waiting area across from us on the platform, while I still like the shadows diffused with the light from the trees, as well as the graffiti, which reads Onde, which means like aonde means like where in Portuguese, which I thought was sort of cheeky because it's a train station and you're waiting and where are you going. I still think the shot would have been a lot better if there was a subject sitting on the bench, and while I waited for a while, unfortunately no one arrived. But that's just how it is sometimes in photography. This is a shot which I really like because of the greenery which overlays each other, as well as the houses and the levels overlaying each other as well. And with the brick beam still a bit on the right, it looks like you're peeking into the dog's secret world. There's a doggy here in the bottom of the shot, which I actually wasn't sure if he was a stray because he looked like a purebred Labrador Retriever. I wasn't able to capture the dog on video, but I waited around until he looked back at me to click the shutter on my camera for this shot. I'm currently under the bridge that the tram goes underneath for Porto. Now this photo here is another money shot, which I had a feeling that it would look good straight out of the roll, and I had a feeling that it'd be a great photo before I even whipped my camera out, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. This old man here probably has one of the best people watching views of the entire city because he can see all of the people going down the steps, and he can see the boats on the water, and he can also see one of the bridges. And since he was scanning everyone who was walking down so carefully, it was sort of hard to be again like inconspicuous and get a photo of him where he was staring into the distance. But I'm really happy with how it turned out because you can see the super famous bridge in the background as well as the yellow of this building being just super potent. Someone farted, oh no!
Okay, it is enough, or should I? No, she's not doing the same thing back. That's so awkward. I'm not.
It's just a cut, bro. Why won't you do it with me? When you're on the bottom part, it's so much more relaxing than the top, actually. Over here, the boats are getting ready. Guys, this is bad. The selfie ring has become sentient. It's moving by itself.
Wait.
You're not at all matched with the
No,
fucking
you have
ring.
to do it around me.
Oh, you want me to do the 360 on you?
No,
Okay, fine. I'll do a 360 rig for you. Yeah. But at the same time, there's 3 floors, so it maintains this very open feel, which is really nice. There's flowers next to this famous church with the tiles again on the outside, which is the theme of Porto. I got this really cool photo of these 2 girls underneath the umbrellas because it was raining that day, and I really fancy this photo because it looks like they're conspiring in front of the church and like what are they whispering about, and you can sort of create a story behind the photo if you'd like in your head. Now we're in, I would say, the most famous church of Porto, which has a very famous courtyard. And when we were entering, we entered with this French, I would like to say, tour guide, which I thought it was honestly really cute because it was just like, it was basically like a field trip but for old people instead, because they all had their own little backpacks and they all brought snacks and stuff, and I just thought it was honestly super adorable. And it's never too late to see the world. I really hold that saying true of like, non è mai troppo tardi. It's never too late to learn, it's never too late to go someplace. And whenever I see these old tour groups of people, it honestly makes me really emotional and sappy, because some people don't have the luxury of being able to travel as a young adult, and it reminds me that I'm really blessed and I should stop complaining. But I really liked how everyone is cozied up next to each other, shoulder to shoulder, and everyone has a backpack and they're all listening to the guy tell the story about the tiles in French, as well as you can sort of see a bit of the blue tiles peeking out in back. These next two photos, I would say, is still on that same theme of like, I guess you just grow old, you never grow up, because in these photos I think you sort of see everyone's inner child, because everyone is sort of on a field trip. If you think about it, they spent a lot of money to go there, and everyone's in their little outfit and they pack their bag and they're taking photos with each other. It's just such a Where's Waldo photo of everyone's just doing their own thing and looking up, as well as there's a person walking on the very top, and triangle ridges make for such interesting visual contrast as well. I really like, maybe it's because they're so old, but the triangles aren't perfectly centered anymore, and I really like that as well. This photo again I just think is so cute, of these two boys who are standing on the main little area in the center. I think their mom or someone they knew was taking a photo, and how she's also hidden in one of the ridges, and then there's a matching couple on the top of the walkway. The final photo I'm actually in, and I just look at the tile of, sometimes I feel like we're getting stupider as a species, because I don't know anyone who can make something like this, and I feel like you just feel so accomplished as an artist to create a body of work such as this. But again, like adult field trip vibes of these four guys were on the left side, and they're all checking their backpacks and they're looking at their map on their phone, and there I was sitting on the other side. So there's definitely a visual contrast between the two of us, which I think makes for an interesting photo again. Look at this bathroom. It's so cool. It has such a nice view. So literally nothing has changed, because look at the attire I'm wearing. just different language on the wall, but the same vibe. I look like an idiot. Currently hiking our way to the Palácio de Cristal, and we're in a different city park, and it has so many levels. I don't know if you can see. So we started out on the lowest level, and now we're almost to the highest part. There's 3 levels here, and if you round the corner there's even more. We started from that road over there, and we made our way up, all the way up these levels. Oh, you can even see the rain on camera now, that's how heavy it is. Look how pretty this place is though. Now, I continued walking in this park after Trem and Quay left me, because they were starting to get hangry, and while I was hangry, I really wanted to see the rest of this crazy park, because I knew I probably will not be back in Porto for a very long time. I took 2 variations of this shot because it was my favorite viewpoint, and in the first one, although you can see the bridge better, I like how in the second photo there are a lot more textures and colors in the trees, as well as some foliage in the foreground at the top, which one of the leaves almost looks like it's touching the bridge because of the perspective. I think it's just framed better because the left side, which in the previous one had this weird empty space, is now covered by the leaves in the bottom and in the top. These other 2 photos, well, this first photo was actually a path that is a part of the Camino de Santiago, which we saw the super cool plaque in the bottom of where you were walking, and it was honestly so cool, and I really do want to walk the Camino de Santiago. It's been on the back of my mind for a while now, just gnawing away at me. I digress. Just the foliage, although it was raining, it's not rain how it is in Holland, where it's just like so utterly depressing and you can't see see past that gray sky and it just seems to go on forever, because it is a little bit tropical in my opinion. There's so much plants around you and it smells really nice when it rains because of that. The second photo here with tram waiting in the background, I sort of think reminds me of the color palette of Southeast Asia, although I've never been, because it has super bright and punchy colors, and the yellows and the greens combined with the pink makes for a really pretty photo. And I don't think you can exactly tell where this photo was taken. At least in my opinion, it could be a multitude of countries. I can't believe this is real life. It's so beautiful, even though it's gray. Like, look at this. Isn't it gorgeous? Tomorrow's our last Porto. Bom dia, gente. More of my puppy. This is our last day in Portugal. We're leaving this Airbnb and we're sleeping at an airport Airbnb because our flight's at 6 a.m. But we're gonna make the best of our last day. And Portugal healed my disgusting pimple I had, because I've been eating very healthy, and happiness always heals your skin. Okay, we're leaving our very beautiful balcony now. Time to head out with our enormous backpacks. Last breakfast, 2 croissants mistos e também muito café. Com suco de laranja. And because we're tourists, God, had to get the mustachinada. We're going to the beach. We're going to Foz today after. We're going to 2 things actually. Do you think we have the energy for that? I'm up for it. To go to both the Contemporary Art Museum and also to Foz. For our last day, we are in Serralves Park. It's very hard for me to pronounce, so sorry about that. It's our very last day in Porto. Tomorrow we're flying back to Holland at 6 a.m. and we checked out of our Airbnb this morning and we're spending the entire day outside. And obviously the issue is when you have that weird last day with your luggage is what do you do on that day? So we found this city park, which is 12 euros for the entire thing, and it has 2 museums inside, as well as it's a sculpture park. So let me show you what we're currently doing. You can hit up all of these sculptures. My friends are over there checking out the sculpture, and it's perfect for a final day where you have to store your luggage, because you can store your luggage at the coat check of the Contemporary Art Museum and just walk around and spend literally the entire day here. So that's what we're doing. And then later in the day, I think we might go to Foz and check out the seaside for our final night, and then we're gonna sleep at our airport hotel and fly home in the morning. Really want to see letter A, Richard Serra's, because Richard Serra is one of my mother's favorite artists actually. It's from Sao. Look how cool they are. This exhibit is so cool because all of the designs, they're displayed sort of like lily pads, and then you can sit in the middle of all of the designs. Coming here was such a good decision. It's insane.
Nina is peeing. She literally needs to pee every hour.
A pee machine.
No, she's coming back.
Turn it on.
Bye.
Art Deco dreams are made of these. This is the other side, and this is where the sky tree walk begins over here. They're destroying the... Are they supposed to be out here? We're currently at this park. I mean, it's a farm in the park, and it feels like unreal. It feels like I'm in heaven or something. It looks like a dream. I don't know, but this Portuguese supermarket is exactly like America. It's enormous. And they have this. Now this was the last photo of my roll for Porto, and if you've ever shot film before, you know that the last photo is always a roulette of how it turns out. But fortunately for me, I got an absolutely stunning, crazy, beautiful, dreamy shot out of it. So dreamy that I think it actually looks more like a painting than a photograph. Honestly, the nostalgic and sort of melancholy feeling of these last 4 photos of me walking along the sea very accurately represents how I was feeling in that moment, and thus I think that makes it an even better photo because art is meant to be a snapshot of how you felt in that time and place. And this is exactly how I felt. Melancholy by the sea, yearning for my imaginary husband to come back from the war, and I wish I could just stay there with the fishermen and sleep on the very beautiful Portuguese seaside. But I have to remember that I am not to be melodramatic and that I am still very young and I can come back to Portugal, I can save up the money and come back again. So yes, that is the final photo for this trip. O último dia do Portugal.